Hey baby girl, I am currently in the process of finding some resident BabyGirlBeat models, and the lovely Miss Nadine here is the first model that I met with. I'm doing this to create my own content, help others create content, and of course to practice makeup and photography outside of my paid work. Nadine is a professional model and has her own boutique, which made her a perfect first addition to the roster. Today we did some orange glam because I wanted something that would look nice in the sunlight, and we shot some stuff for her clothing and sunglasses. If you'd like to see how I brought her from that to that, then keep on watching. Alright, let's take it back to the beginning. Okay, so when I tell you this girl has perfect skin, this girl has perfect skin. Her face was freshly cleansed before I got there, so I just went ahead and moisturized her with some almond oil. Her face literally feels like butter, so I knew everything was gonna go on nice and smooth today. Of course, I'm starting with the brows. I started off with a Jordana pencil in brown black. I'm just following her natural brow shape, filling in where need be, and every so often stopping to brush the product into her natural brow hairs with my spoolie. Then I went over them with a dark brown shade in my Morphe 350M palette. I use this thing as both a natural eyeshadow palette and a brow powder palette. That dark brown shade I used is pretty cool tone, so I didn't have to worry about it making her brows too dark. I just wanted to add a little bit more color to them before cleaning them up with concealer. To clean up her brows, I used a MAC concealer in the shade light brown. You've heard me say in previous videos that I like to do the brows first to test out the highlight color I'll be using. This shade was a little too orangey on her, so I will not be using it to highlight her face. I was kind of debating if I should shape the top of her brows too. I decided not to because I know she likes a more natural brow. When I'm blending out the concealer, I go over the head of the brows just a bit to make them less boxy. And now for foundation. I told her that I was going to color correct around her mouth and match her face to her body. But she asked me not to and asked if I can just match her foundation to her face. And I'm actually really glad that we had that conversation. This looks really good. It's amazing the difference foundation makes even when you already have perfect skin. Anyway, I started to highlight her with MW55. But it wasn't bright enough for what I was going for. It did do a great job at canceling out what little darkness she has under her eyes. I'll keep this color in mind when I do no makeup looks on her. Then I went in with NW50 to highlight. Well, it was definitely giving me the brightness that I wanted. But it was still giving orange, and I was trying to match the pretty red highlights that I see on her body. I may have to go with a different brand to find that, or I could have mixed red with a neutral shade. But it's okay, I just blended it all the way back into her foundation. And to be honest, It is matching the way light naturally hits her bare face. So yes, I am happy with this, and clearly she is too. This would be the part where I start contouring, but today we're going to do some non-touring, which is basically just playing with highlighting and using the contrast alone to contour. Homegirl already got all the cheekbones, so this is honestly all she needs. And to get rid of that ashiness that you see there, I'm going to take the brush that I used to blend her foundation and go over that area. To set her highlight, I used Mercier's translucent deep setting powder. I didn't use the regular translucent because I didn't want to brighten any further. I have quite a few setting powders in my kit, and I would try not to go off on a tangent as to why I chose this one in particular. Long story short, I have a pretty love-hate relationship with setting powders in general. I like Laura because it's smooth and settles into the skin nicely, but at the same time, I try to spray as much of it away as I can with either rose water or MAC Fix Plus. I set the rest of her face with a MAC powder in NW58. Didn't use a blush or a bronzer today, but did of course use a highlighter. I used Fenty Beauty Chili Mango. It's a nice orange cream highlighter that shows up more gold on deep skin tones. I put this stuff all over the high points of her face and made sure to blend it in real good so it looks more like a natural glow. Now it's time for the eyes. I start by using any light colored concealer as my eyeshadow base and blending it in real good. Then I use some orange shadows from my 350M palette all over the crease. It really wasn't giving me orange the way I needed it to. Then I remembered that there's an orange in my Juvia's Place palette, which is way more pigmented. But I still felt like it wasn't giving me what I needed. At this time, I was thinking that I should really get some MAC paint sticks or some Danessa Myricks color fixes. It wasn't until the next day that I was like, I have several orange concealers and an orange foundation. That's what should have been my base. But you know what? You want to know what? It's okay. That's what this is for. 2 days later, one of my clients hit me for a shoot, and the photographer wants a bold orange look. And guess who knows what to do now? I'm still gonna order those color fixes. Anyways, back to Nadine. I used this pretty pigment that I got from Ipsy all over her lids. I sprayed my brush with a little rose water after I picked up some product. 1, it makes the color show up better. 2, it minimizes fallout. And 3, it's a good way to cheat a cut crease. Although I still blended that line out just a bit. Then I took one of those orange shadows from before and went back over the crease and outer V. And yeah, this is pretty. I like it. And I'm really liking this highlighter moment right here. Poppin'. We need to define her eyes, so I'm putting some black liner down. I think this is the part where she started falling asleep. It happens. Before I put her falsies on, I coated her lashes in mascara. As far as lashes go, I didn't want to use anything too dramatic that would take away from the shadow, so I went the natural route. I like the Demi Wispies sometimes because you get all the flirtiness of false lashes, but it still looks like you drew them yourself. Oh yeah, she definitely started falling asleep right there. She was telling me that she was feeling mad pampered, so I definitely saw this coming. Alright, and the last part is the lips. I'm just having her prep her lips with a little Vaseline first. Picking the lipstick color is never my favorite part because I'm so indecisive. But you know what? You can never go wrong with a dark red. And there she is. We are all done. That Laura is already setting into the skin very nicely. We had so much fun working together, and I am so happy to have my first official BabyGirlBeat model. Watch until the end to see a sneak peek of the content we created together. As always, thank you so much for watching, and please look out for next week's video. Bye, baby girl.